I've deleted all social media off my phone. I've locked it in a way that actually prevents me from reinstalling Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and thank God I was smart and intelligent enough not to download TikTok. And you know what? I have noticed a drastic improvement in my perception, in my ability to experience pleasure in novel things, in just walking out of my flat, going through a walk to my local park, going down to the beach and getting my feet in the sand and just watching the waves crash, ebb and flow on a cold Sunday morning. And I do this without clawing and reaching for my phone like a fucking drug addict. And I think you guys should do the same. I was thinking for the longest while why this was having such profound effects on my mental health, my perception, my insights, even my ability to be creative is somewhat heightened over the last couple of weeks. Now, of course, there is that narrative that my attention span is increasing because we've known for a while now that the never-ending scroll mechanism on all of these platforms, which has been a revolutionary piece of technology for these big tech industries, is training a human being how to be distracted. I mean, deep that for a minute or two. You are teaching your body and your mind how to be distracted, how to be unfocused. Imagine this. Imagine going to the gym, right? Imagine going to the gym, jumping on the bench for 10 seconds, then switching up, then going over the bicep curls, and then dropping them, then going over to the lat pull down, then dropping that, then going to the leg extensions, then the hamstring curl. Then it's delusional. What are you doing? You get kicked out for shit like that in my gym because that is cocaine addict, just unfocused, undisciplined, attention span behavior, and we need to get rid of it. And that is exactly what you're doing to your mind. That is exactly what's going on in your neurochemistry. I mean, think about it. You're scrolling Lamborghini, dog pictures, platitude, girls in yoga pants, more platitude, more girls in yoga pants, girls in yoga pants. That's exactly what it's like. But here's the reason why I think social media, especially things like Instagram and Facebook, more visual-based platforms are more pernicious than most. It's the opportunity for comparison is so great. It's infinite. What I mean by that is never in the course of the human race has our opportunity to compare our lives to somebody else been so great and been so far-reaching. If I roll the clock back, 100 years or so, the only opportunity you could have to compare your life was with your neighbor on the left, on the right, or other people in your local village. Compared to now, I can pick up this phone. Well, I can't do it on this phone now, but I can maybe use my laptop, go on Instagram, and I could look at how the billionaires are living it up in Dubai, driving a different colored Lamborghini for every day of the week, going to a different 5-star hotel every other weekend. A lifestyle for the majority of us, which is completely unrealistic. Nevertheless, we are given that opportunity to constantly compare every other hour of the day. And this is absolutely detrimental for our perception. So no longer does the average man feel content with a roof over his head, food on the table, and even to have a job to provide for his family. Now, I don't want this going in the direction of not having ambition. I believe every man should have ambition. The direction I'm trying to move in is not exercising gratitude, especially like me if you're on your grind and getting the fruits of your labor. Depending on where you live and where you are in life, social media can be a medium of motivation or condemnation. When I was in the trials and tribulations of my 9 to 5 and I was picking up my phone and looking through Instagram at people who were making 10, 20k per month, it was a source of motivation for me. And it allowed me to be the medium in which to install in my mind, at least in my thinking process, that a life like this is in fact feasible for me. But more recently, it would be naive of me not to say that this can also be a source of my neuroticism, and that I can take some of those hyper-realistic examples like I previously mentioned and constantly tell myself I'm not any good. It has taken me out of the present moment to really appreciate the fruits of my labor because I'm in a very privileged position. And the presence of mind to know that you may very well be living above the means of an average individual. So you always need to remember that. You always need to have that in the back of your mind and have empathy for, it's not even empathy, it's pure gratitude for where you are. There is always somebody out there living a less privileged life than you. And they are desperately seeking to have what you have. Social media has confused and conflated your existence to believe that you are living a life of a beggar, when in fact the reality is very, very opposite of that. If you are watching me on this screen right now, you are probably in the top 10%. But it doesn't seem that way, does it, Joseph? It doesn't seem that way when I look in the social media, when I look in the Instagram, when I look in the TikTok. Leave it alone, man. Delete that shit. Be gracious. Be present. Speak soon. Take care.